Hello there, and welcome to Star Wars 1000. Star Wars question of the day: what is the deal with Maz Kanata? Now, it's kind of interesting what it comes to Maz Kanata, like everything that's happened with the character so far. It's kind of interesting how everything played out because to me it seemed like she was supposed to have a bigger role in the sequel trilogy. She was kind of teased as like the Yoda type of character. She lived for 1,000 years, even longer than Yoda ever lived for. She's been alive since like she saw the prequel era and the original trilogy era, and she's never been seen on screen until the sequel trilogy. We still don't know a lot about her character and backstory. There's still a lot to be explored there, especially since she's been alive for so long. And she is in tune with the Force, but she's not a Jedi. And she was kind of supposed to be like the Yoda type of character. I thought we would get more of backstory on the character throughout the sequel trilogy, but instead she was sidelined in Episode 8. And very strangely, in Episode 9, she didn't get much to do either. She was there more, and then in Episode 8, but in Episode 9, I was really hoping for Episode 9 to give us some answers with the character, like how she found the Skywalker lightsaber and how she knows all this stuff about the Force and why she never became a Jedi. Maybe there's like a lot of things I felt like they could have explored with the character, but it was just all wasted potential. And I don't know how much longer the character of Maz Kanata could live for. I mean, she's 1,000 years old, which that's pretty old. I mean, I don't know how much longer she's going to be living for, so I can't really predict on what the future of the character will be. But I would like to see more of a backstory for the character to find out more motivation and why she is the way she is, I guess, about the Force and about everything in the Star Wars galaxy. How she experienced all the different rises and falls throughout the galaxy, and she saw the rise and fall of the two republics, which is kind of crazy. I feel the character does have the potential to have a pretty cool backstory, but moving forward with the character, I think there's really not much they could do there. It seems like we don't really know what her motivations were throughout the sequel trilogy as well. Obviously, she was on the side of good, but they didn't really go deeper into that. Like I couldn't really tell like why she was doing what she was doing half of the time. It's mainly in episodes 8 and 9, and I wish, like again, I wish they explored more of the character in those two movies. I thought she was great in episode 7. It was like a kind of a cool tease to the character of what could become of that character moving forward. And I also thought Maz Kanata could have been more of a guide to Rey in the future sequel movies, and that's just one thing that really bothers me about the sequel trilogy. Just with the character of Maz Kanata, I'm not going to go into a whole thing about the sequel trilogy. I have my positive opinions and negative opinions about that, but I'm mainly talking about Maz Kanata right now, and I feel like the most wasted potential character is Maz Kanata, and I'm not really sure what they could do with this character moving forward, which is a shame because I felt like she had a lot of potential in episode 7. I really want to know what her deal is. Like I said, obviously she's in tune with the Force, but she didn't become a Jedi. She had the Skywalker lightsaber. It seems like she could have an interesting backstory of like how she saw the all three trilogies and how that made her feel, like not how make her feel, but how she experienced like the tragedy of like different events that happened in all three trilogies. And she's lived for 1,000 years, so I'm sure she's seen a lot, and I'm sure there's could be some very interesting backstories with the character. Hope they one day explore it. And with the character moving forward, I feel like I don't really know what else they could really do. Maybe have her hang out with Rey and the sequel characters a little bit post episode 9, but I really don't see there much to do with the character post episode 9 since she's so old and she probably won't live much longer. Not saying there couldn't be things to do. Maybe like in some future books, and maybe she could be in some other TV series as well. Maybe like another movie. They could bring in Maz Kanata and just get a little bit of a deep dive more into the backstory and into more of her motivations and how she sees the Force. And I hope in the future that they explore some of these interesting concepts that I thought that they were going to explore in the sequel trilogy. So to wrap up the video, may the Force be with you always.